With the recent success of Fire Emblem Three Houses, the Fire Emblem series is on an updraft. Ever since Awakening gave the series its newfound surge of popularity, the series has been going stronger than ever, with that entry followed up by numerous sequels and spin-offs. With the release of one of those sequels, Fire Emblem Echoes: Shadows of Valentia on the 3DS, which was a remake of the second game of the series, Fire Emblem Gaiden, a discussion was born. What on earth is Fire Emblem Echoes? The Fire Emblem series has been around a long time, and there have been several remakes in the series. Is the Echoes name just a part of the subtitle for the Gaiden remake? Or is Echoes a part of a new sub-series, starting with Shadows of Valentia, that consists of remakes of older entries? While we do not have an official answer at this time, I'll cast my vote for you here. I do believe the Echoes name is attached to remakes, and that we could see it used in that manner in the future, especially given that the Japanese title of the game, Fire Emblem Echoes: Another Hero King, differs drastically from the Western title, and yet still carries the same Echoes distinction. If we take this as fact, that the Echoes name is for a sub-series of remakes, then that implies more remakes are coming. If that is the case, what game will be remade? I believe it's very likely that we'll see a remake of a game with a protagonist who is already popular. And this means that the protagonist is probably in Smash Bros. While I believe that an Awakening or Fates remake could happen eventually, and that this inevitable remake would be really good, I believe it is far too close to their original releases for the games to be optimally marketable, and thus way more unlikely than other titles. With the release of the English translation of Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, it seems that that game, and perhaps all of Marth's games, are also unlikely. And this isn't even taking into account that both of Marth's games have already received at least one remake each. Regarding the Fire Emblem games with characters who are playable in Smash, this means that we are only left with the following: Fire Emblem 6, The Binding Blade, Fire Emblem 9, Path of Radiance, and Fire Emblem 16, Three Houses. Again, Three Houses, being the last game in the series, is far too recent, so we can discount it entirely. This leaves us with two options: Fire Emblem 6, The Binding Blade, and Fire Emblem 9, Path of Radiance. If we're assuming that the Smash Bros. Popularity rule holds true, which I think makes a lot of sense regarding marketing. And even completely disregarding this rule, both of these games have a few things in common that leave them with very good chances for a remake. With the popularity of the main characters of both games, it becomes abundantly clear that both games could sell better now than they did in their original state, given the proper release window and marketing. Path of Radiance, though initially not selling terribly well, is now worth a ridiculous amount online, becoming a bit of a cult classic. A remake could tap into this market. Seeing the game in HD would delight fans who bought it previously, and it would give new fans a chance to play the game who can't currently play it. And considering the ridiculously high price point for a used copy, it's not hard to see why. The Binding Blade has a similar issue regarding its availability. Though Roy, its main lord, is a popular character in the West, the Binding Blade was never actually released here. Should the game be remade, Western fans would clamor to play it, as not only were they never able to enjoy the original, but they already have a fascination with the main character. The Binding Blade has a few other things that distinguish it too. Fire Emblem 7, localized simply as Fire Emblem, was the first Fire Emblem game released in the West, and it is an incredibly popular Fire Emblem game to this day. With the proper marketing, a Fire Emblem 6 remake can ride on this popularity in the West, expressing itself as the never-before-seen sequel to Fire Emblem 7, despite Fire Emblem 7 being crafted originally as a prequel to Fire Emblem 6. In addition, the director of Fire Emblem Echoes: Shadows of Valentia has expressed interest in remaking this title, and a remake of this title could lead to a remake of the beloved Fire Emblem 7. There are some challenges that come with Fire Emblem 6, however. The two most cited are the fact that the game is originally done in a map sprite-based style, which could sadly be lost if the game were to be done in the Three Houses engine, and the potential to change the game too much from the original. Although, the original is admittedly very flawed. But still, perhaps losing too much of the game's identity in order to make it closer with the beloved Fire Emblem 7 could be a problem, especially to those fans who adore the original. On the flip side of this, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is one of the few Fire Emblem games that doesn't use map sprites, but instead uses 3D models, the same system used in Fire Emblem Three Houses. The models in the original Path of Radiance had janky and slow animations, which could be upgraded in accordance to recent games. The battle animations could be upgraded into the sleek and stylish animations of Shadows of Valentia and Three Houses, and the map animations could be given the diagonal motion and HD of Fire Emblem Three Houses as well. In addition, the base system of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance could be adapted to a system more similar to the monastery in Three Houses, with your base being established on the location of previous battlefields where the player, as Ike, could free roam. Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia was the game that introduced free roaming of 3D environments into the series, so it would make sense as a continuation of this trend of the last two games. In addition to all this, a Path of Radiance remake could lead to the remake of Radiant Dawn in the West, and that game, plus some added elements such as support conversations, could easily be the best game in the series. However, Path of Radiance is already released worldwide, and this may honestly offer a huge blow to its chances. In terms of main games, Book 2 of Fire Emblem 3, Fire Emblem 4, Fire Emblem 5, and Fire Emblem 6 all remain unplayable in any form in the West, and there is merit to remaking these stories for a worldwide audience. An audience that was never offered a product might be more willing to spend money on it than one that had it before. Personally, between the two, I really think that the lack of a Western release, coupled with the popularity of Fire Emblem 7, leads for a clear preference to Fire Emblem 6 as the next title remade, though Fire Emblem 9 would be a close second choice. I do believe, given that each candidate game is part of a set of two games, that, regardless of whatever of the games we do get, they will be followed up by its sequel as a second remake. If, for some reason, we saw a remake of Fire Emblem 4 instead of 6 or 9, I think this would still hold true, with a remake of Thracia 776, its midquel, being the next in line. And for some reason, if we get a remake of Fire Emblem 3 Book 2, as unlikely as it is, then I can just say that was coupled with the release of Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light's English translation and call it a day, but I seriously doubt that to be the case considering how recently it was remade as well. What do you think the next remake will be? What game would you like to be remade next? Although I do think the second Echoes game will be The Binding Blade, I personally want a Thracia 776 remake. I think that game could do well and reach a much wider audience than the original did, given difficulty options, a casual mode, and a rewind mechanic. But what are your thoughts? Please, continue the discussion in the comment section below. Well, it's about time I wrap things up. But before I do, I want to give a quick thank you to another creator on the YouTube space, FED. FED featured me on this channel as the voice actor for Leaf in his incredible Thracia 776 video, and you should go check it out and give him lots of support if you like his stuff. He's a cool guy, and he's trying to make YouTube his full-time job, which is mad exciting. So go check him out. I'll leave a link to his channel and to the Thracia video in the description below. Well, I guess this is the end of the video. I'll stop rambling and end things here. Thank you for watching. This is Vantage Emblem, signing off. Thank you, and have a good day.